Kia ora, Cancer. This is your reading for this new moon in Scorpio. So let's get stuck into it. Take what resonates as always, leave what doesn't. Thanks for your comments. Likes, subscribes. It's a two-way business here. So it keeps the videos being seen by a wider audience, and more importantly, I just really appreciate that. So let's get into it. Sun Venus, Moon Venus, what am I talking about? Sun Cancer, Moon Cancer, and Ascendant Cancer, and any other titles that might stand out for you. The other water signs might relate. It just depends what's going on in your chart, so use your discretion. Okay, let's get your cards out, Cancers. Lovely Cancer. Very hot here today, very hot and windy. Now, we come out with the Emperor, a very strong card for you, Cancer. There may be a feeling of restriction just within yourself. Oh, we've got quite a few here. Oh, we've got far too many. Anyway, we'll talk about it when they're all out. I've got a rock mineral crystal for you, face down. So we'll pull that up at the end. You can carry it with you in your mind's eye during the week. Okay, so we come out, as I said, and we always clarify with a few other decks. We come out with the Emperor for you. This is really strong position, a firm seat, you could say, a firm seat here on this glorious throne of the Emperor. The Emperor, ideally, is a very benevolent character, very strong, a lot of responsibility involved in being your own Emperor. We come here to maybe if there's an external feeling of restriction or even an internal one, we need to delineate, is it me or is it what's out here, and where do we meet in between, and how do I discern that? 8 of Swords, Cancer. We have, in a nutshell, a card of self-limitation. We feel bound, but actually we're not. You know, our mind can be, even though, you know, we fully appreciate critical thinking and the ability to do that, and that is getting lost, I think, in this world. At the same time, our mind as a, you know, bio-spiritual entity, universe unto itself, our mind can be our worst enemy, Cancer. So we've got this strong Emperor, we've got a feeling of maybe restriction from an external force, or maybe within ourselves, you know. There may well be a crossover here also, that you have the ability and the opportunity to embody this Emperor at the current time, and it's a little bit burdensome. Anyway, let's keep going. Prince of Discs. This beautiful prince is a slow release mechanism. It's about preparing ground over time. The release of all the wonderful nitrogens and, well, good stuff, microbes in the soil that are going to make it incredibly fertile for that, whatever that is that you want to bring into form, as it were. Very reliable character, very solid. And then we have the 4 of Cups, a strong 4. The water flow here. We talk of the 4 of Cups. We can see that there's a fine line between accepting new opportunities, accepting offerings, like emotional offerings, Cancer, that we don't necessarily recognize. There's a fine line between that and being sort of depleted on a level that we just can't be bothered accepting. and hence the water really needs to keep flowing, you know. So we see that oscillation between those two things in that Four of those two states, really, in that Four of Cups. So let's go through and clarify. We're looking at the Emperor for Cancer. This is something that I would suggest you must fully, with great gusto, embody, Cancer, that Emperor position. I say that because we've got the Six of Swords, one of the wonderful, really great swords, because we're moving to a more conducive place for us at this time. Karma, whatever it is that you need, this card indicates that you need. This card indicates that you're moving to that place. Moving to it. Moving to a karma port, whether that's physically or psychologically, Cancer. Eight of Swords, please, for Cancer. Eight of Swords for Cancer. In the Thoth deck, it's called interference. There's a level of confusion, but it is just mental. Mental confusion. Can we have a... look, we've got this card that keeps coming out in all the readings, if you want to go and check out other titles that stand out for you. We've got this Seven of Swords, which keeps coming out all the time for every astro sign, literally. Seven of Swords, yeah, it is about how we deceive ourselves. It's about saboteur behaviour. It is about using, manipulation in order to get what we want, instead of being upfront about it, instead of being clear and transparent. This can be other people in your life, but I do see it here as we all have this. This is a universal archetype, Cancer. And so maybe that's the thing that's holding you back from come out from under the bushel and go for gold. Go for what you need, for what you want. Take the throne, because it's there for you. We all have a self-saboteur. We all have that. Can we just get one more card for Cancer, please? So in whatever way this relates to you, however it relates. We have another seven. Like there's an assessment within this because you're aware of that. You're aware of yourself, your own behaviours. Seven of Wands, standing up for what is right for you, and it's figuring that out. What it's also figuring out here is, do we need to be justifying this constantly? In some vein, we're doing it. We feel the need to do it, and to put that out there to others. Maybe we don't. Maybe we just need to pick our own battles. So there's a question about that. Ultimately, the card that we're clarifying is about self-limitation. And these are the little action figures that are playing out here, whether they are within you or in others around you that you're dealing with. So you may feel, if that's the case, if it's other people you're dealing with, that you feel sort of limited by them, by your involvement with them, or the fact that you have to deal with them. That's another aspect and another way of looking at this. Let's look at the Prince. The Prince of Discs, beautiful, reliable Prince. Tending the soil, preparing it. What is this Prince for Cancer, please, in this reading? There's a wonderful saying, which is when things get confusing and a little bit tough and we feel confused, I don't know whether it's a saying, but I often say it to myself when I feel like that I'm confused, I feel off, something's afoot, something's going on. And I often think, and I actually say this to myself, go and peel potatoes, Di. Do something just practical and mundane. Now, I'm not saying the prince is a mundane character in this story. He's very important, or she is very important. But what we get to clarify, that you could see tilling the soil as a mundane activity, but it actually has the potential to produce food for you for the rest of the season. You see what I'm getting at here? We clarify that prince of discs with the magician, dear Cancer. With the magician, somehow the slow process, this what appears to be a mundane activity, can be the key. Can be the key for you, if that makes any sense whatsoever at this moment. Can we get just another little glimmer into this, please? So we have that beautiful magician with the wand, with a very powerful will force. Now, we have this prince again in the Morgan Greer deck coming out with that. It's really interesting, Cancer. So the Page of Pentacles. This page is in motion. In the Morgan Greer, I always feel that this page is a messenger. There's a message within the act of the mundane that is going to elevate you and clear any confusion here. I do get that. It's kind of amazing. It's quite interesting. Four of Cups for Cancer, please, here. A message. There's a message here. You know, there's something really beneficial in the mundane activity of doing housework or outside work, or, you know what I'm saying, garden, peeling potatoes, cleaning cupboards. A lot can come to us at that time, actually even driving, you know. Anyway, so we get to the Four of Cups, Cancer. This have we got the vital juices to accept an offering, to accept something that doesn't actually even look like an offering? Or are we feeling very complacent about everything at the moment? That's what I mean. Like, there's something quite helpful about doing mundane activity. Clarifying that Four of Cups, we get the 8. We're creating a distance here. We're being objective emotionally. We create a area around ourselves where we can sort of be objective about not only our own world and what's going on for us emotionally, but also other people. So it starts to become a little bit less confusing. It becomes a lot clearer, Cancer. And it does become clearer. This is about embodying that ability to just create a buffer zone around yourself for a wee while you're peeling those potatoes. You know, I mean, I'm serious. Like, it's really useful. I say that because then we have the Queen of Swords. This is the Queen of discernment and clarity. So in a nutshell, if there's any anxiety or worry or confusion. Confusion around you, within you. It will pass. Create that emotional objectivity, that buffer zone around yourself. Focus on some very basic things. And things do clear. Things become clearer for you. I guarantee it. In this storyline, if it relates to you, Cancer. So on that note, let's pull. Let us pull. Well, we're not pulling. We're waiting for something to jump. We're waiting for something to jump. Brian Froud. Beautiful pixies and fairies. Always tell us something. We're doing a big cleansing. In the process, through this process, you're doing a real good clean out of your own head in some ways, Cancer. We've got two lovely cards. We've got the feline here. And this card is about unfinished business. Something's been cleared up here in order to be, it's very easy to say this, in order to be released. But it is. This is like getting a huge bottle of sort of exfoliator out and just kind of scrubbing yourself from top to bottom. Start from the outside in, is what I'm hearing. Start from the outside in. Or the inside out, I don't know. The feline, with that we have the fawn, mirrored images, counterparts, friendship. We can get subsumed, Cancer, by other people's emotional roller coasters. Subsumed, overwhelmed. And this is where the Eight of Cups becomes very helpful. In this card we see a mirrored image. I do get that. And subsumed, there's a stepping back a little bit. Because you do have emperorship at hand, whether you see it now or not. So the fawn is a counterpart. It's about connection and it's about friendship. Now, rock, mineral, crystal. Now this one has been coming up in a lot of readings as well. We always shuffle everything to the nth degree. And it's just that the two of my most unfavourite cards, like the Seven of Swords and the Five of Swords, have just been coming up over and over again for a lot of different signs. But anyway, we've got beautiful golden or gold sheen obsidian, a wonderful protective stone if you have some at home, or some obsidian, tourmaline, onyx, beautiful protective stones, Cancer. And so we have personal power, spiritual manifestation as part of this storyline, earth healing and new experiences. Carry that in your mind's eye over the week, Cancer, if you don't have any of those at hand. It's beautiful, isn't it? So on that note, thanks a lot for joining me. I hope you got something from this reading. Check out the channel if you haven't before. And I do thank you very much for tuning in. And look, let's take it easy over this coming week. We've got a full moon in Gemini at literally toward the end of this month, which I feel, things always are a little bit clearer when the full moon comes around. So on that note, Cancer, take care, and hopefully we'll see you next time. Ka kite, bye.